Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Sarabia, and this is going to be a video podcast. What is the difference between a video podcast and a YouTube video or whatever else? There's none. So this is just a video of me ranting about a whole bunch of stuff and everything like that. So a lot of people are going to go ahead and look at me and think I'm weird, and that's okay. So the first thing I wanted to do is I decided I wanted to do these videos because it's been a long time coming, and I've been talking about these for quite some time. I've been talking about these for maybe about 2 or 3 years now, and the title is The Shit They Don't Talk About in Cosplay, or The Shit You Don't Know About Cosplay, or The Shit About Something. The shit about something you don't know about cosplay. That's the name of the show. It's the shit that you don't know. Basically, there was a lot of things that when I came into the cosplay community, I didn't know. And I started completely fresh, completely wide-eyed, never knew anything about cosplay, never been to a convention. I've been to maybe one convention at one point in time, just one, and it was Albuquerque Comic Con, and I was dressed up in this green and black getup that my late fiance dressed me up in, and I had stitches on my face because he wanted me to look a certain way, and that's because he was doing a graphic novel, and I was a character in it. And so he dressed me up and took pictures with people so he could use it for his graphic novel. And he, of course, got previous permission from everybody who was going to be a part of that before he died. But that was the first time I ever had gone to a con. And I was high off of painkillers because I was in a lot of pain that day. And we'll cover a lot of things through these videos. But if you're wide-eyed, and since cosplay is now part of the geek culture, and it's been part of the geek culture, and it's becoming more mainstream and more mainstream, I felt like it was time to start doing these videos as the approach of, if you know absolutely nothing about cosplay, because I knew absolutely nothing about cosplay. What turned me on to cosplay was I went to that Albuquerque Comic Con. I met a couple of great cosplayers. They were pretty awesome. And one of them her name was Cara Nicole, and she told me she was an editor. I was a writer, and I was like, hey, eventually we should meet up. And at that point in time, I had wrote a book. Selfish plug. Selfish plug. But my book is called The Choice, and it's by Jessica Y. Sarabia. And for the few of you who already bought it, I say thank you. For the rest of you who are possibly interested in it, you can read the first 10 pages on Amazon.com. It costs $3. If you want to see what's inside my head, go ahead and read it. And if you don't, that's okay. I am not going to be butthurt. But I had just barely gone to a convention. That was my first convention ever. And I started watching the show Heroes of Cosplay, which there's a lot of amazing cosplayers on there, and I could name a list of a whole bunch of them, and I could tell you that they were my inspirations, and they were. I mean, there was tons of cosplayers out there that I could list that are million followers, big cosplayers. Some of them have 3,000 likes on Facebook. But because they were on the show, they automatically get guest spots at conventions. And don't get me wrong, okay? Literally, if you can get any publicity for yourself, it's great publicity, even if it's bad publicity. Publicity is publicity. Let's look at it from the standpoint of business. They work their asses off. Simple as that. And don't think that cosplay is easy, because it's not. So I wanted to cover a few things that I do for myself And I probably have said that multiple times. Today, of all days, and almost 90% of the time, I don't wear makeup. And the reason why I don't wear makeup is because of the fact that I want to let my skin breathe. And I wear theatrical makeup for 10 hours at con for 2 days out of con. I never dress up for preview day. So, like, the first day of cons, which is usually like a Friday, and they have it as a short day, like, I don't dress up for that. I just go run around and say hi to people, deliver presents and stuff like that, and be like, hey, did you need something? I miss you. I love you. Blah, blah, blah. That's me. That's me in a nutshell. I'm like, oh my God, I love you. I missed you. And I give you a hug and a kiss, and, you know, I go ahead and check up on you and see how you're doing, and then talk to you, and we talk about shit. And sometimes it's a little one-sided because it's me, and, you know, I haven't caught up with you in a while, and then you tell me what's going on with you and stuff like that. And it doesn't matter. I just love people, and I love the people who get to be in my life and whatnot. So that's important. So I'm wearing makeup for 10 hours, or sometimes I will wear light makeup on Sundays or Mondays, Sundays and Mondays, depending on the day that I'm going to go out. And that's usually date day for me and the boyfriend. And that's been that way for a long time. It's been that way since I was engaged with my late fiance, John. It's that way now with my current boyfriend, Mike. It's never going to change. Sunday, Monday, date day. Jessica's going to wear makeup, and I'm going to try to look good. And, like, I already know people are going to be like, that one spot with your ear. You know, there you go. Sorry, guys. I'm tilting my head to try to go ahead and block out the sun because I have this one really well strategic mirror in my shed. And this is, behold, the beautiful shed of my creations and everything. And this is where I store my stuff and where I make my stuff. And there's a lot of things here. And I make a lot of stuff here. And it's not just for cosplay. But this is the shed that I do most of my cosplay stuff, like my Warbler and everything like that. All my Warbler work as much as humanly possible so I don't burn carpet. I do it here. And if I personally can avoid trying to do stuff on apartment carpet, I will, because sometimes I'm at my boyfriend's a lot, and it's now like 3 or 4 times out of the week that I'm at my boyfriend's, and he lives in Santa Fe, and it pretty much ends up to where I do my costuming there, and I sit on the couch and I do my costuming, which is a normal thing for me. And when you're working with fabric, it's easy because you can go through patterns, and I go through the patterning stage where I come to my parents' house and I use my dress form and I cut my patterns and I do my stuff there. And if it's Warbler and it's supposed to be form fitted, I stick it to my dress form and I'll tell you secrets about how I did that and everything like that, and work with that. Weird things like adhering things to a bra, you know, weird stuff. But getting back to the makeup, if you're starting out, you don't necessarily want to pay the money for stage makeup. Stage makeup is for the stage. It's for more than 10 hours. Is it worth the money spending? Yeah. No. That's as simple as I can put it. I wear long-lasting makeup where it's for like 10 hours. And I use a setting spray to keep it going and everything like that. And when I first started cosplaying, I used just regular makeup that I had. Just my regular makeup. And thought that it would stay. And 10 hours later, I looked in the mirror and the first thing that I would scream out loud is, I look like shit. And I still do that when I'm in front of a mirror and I'm starting to take off my cosplay makeup and my cosplay hair and, you know, getting out of there to be Jessica. I go ahead and I look in the mirror and I look like shit. That's me. That's me in a nutshell. And that's how I feel at the end of the day, because I feel like one eye is opaque and it's dripping, and, you know, I look like Two-Face from Batman, just like one side is just bubbling and weird and crazy shit like that. So I used normal makeup and it didn't work. And so I started slowly upgrading my makeup, and I have a big kit that I carry with me now. And it's, my abbreviated kit is yay big, yay tall, has multiple cases, has 27 different colors of lipstick, has a customizable blend of stage makeup tone to foundation and concealer to my skin, which I mixed using multiple different colors and versions, and I spent my time doing that, and I spent like half a day doing that and testing it out and making sure it blends with my skin and all that stuff. Do I say get to be that dedicated? Eventually, if you fall in love with the craft like I have, you will. And it won't seem like so much work. It'll just, you know, it'll just be normal. Like, I freak over contact lenses, like, getting dry. Oh my god, my contacts are dry! And I'm sitting here, like, trying to treat them and trying not to buy new contacts because they're stage contacts and they're a certain thing and I spent money on them and I'm cheap and I don't want to spend money yet again. You worry about things like that when you get closer to con, and we'll discuss that even more. But one of the best things that I had learned when cosplaying and setting up my makeup is, like I said, you want to use a long-lasting makeup. You want to practice your makeup beforehand. A day or two before I go ahead and I do a convention, providing that I have done that character already or not. It really depends. If I've done the character before and I've designed the makeup scape of that character, I will not do a 2-day prep to see what it's going to look like. Before, I just threw on makeup and there we go. And one of the versions of my Raven, which is pretty well recognized and a lot of people love, and has been in magazines. That version came from number 2. The first version, I looked like I was from death metal. Like, just black and dark and it was just blah. And, yeah, no. But what I learned to help set my makeup was an old pageant trick, which involves hairspray. Now, there's setting sprays out there, which there's one called Meritron. It's Merhon, Meritron. I think Megatron every single time I look at it. So now I think you're going to do that too. And sorry. I'm sorry, guys. You're going to start looking at me like that. And you're going to think about that stuff. And basically, I tried that spray and it didn't work. And how I knew it didn't work is because there's a crease right here on my eye, right in the mid of the lid. And every single time I did eyeliner all the way through, there was this faint little line by the end of the night that came from my eyeliner. And it was pretty drastic a lot of times because I was trying to do a full eyeliner and I can't do that. So work with your skin and work with what you got. That will be tip number 2, which I will discuss a little bit more. But the pageant trick that I learned from a friend of mine who used to do pageants way back in the day, when I was a young girl and everything like that, is that you take a can of hairspray, it's going to hold your hair for 10 hours. You put enough hairspray on something, it's going to last for a long time. There was one wonderful video that was circulating on Facebook about a person who sprayed like 10 cans worth of hairspray on hair, and it stayed up like Dragon Ball Z style. So if it can do that, it can keep your makeup stay. It can help your makeup stay in place. And what I do is I hold my breath for 5 seconds and I go real quick, and then I breathe for 5 seconds, and I take another deep breath and I do it again, and I do it 3 times. And my makeup has stayed in place with no problems whatsoever, literally for 10 hours in a sweaty costume, which is another factor you're going to have to put in there. Okay? You're going to be wearing a sweaty, uncomfortable costume maybe for 10 hours. And that's if you're a professional cosplayer, which another video we'll discuss, or even just for fun. So you got to work with what's going to work best for you. And what works best for me, and what has always worked best for me, has been hairspray. And it costs $2.50 for a big can. Oh my God. Does that like save you so much freaking money? Yes, it does. It saves me money. And I use it also for my wigs. So, you know, I'm like, spritz my wigs, make sure they stay in place. And then I spritz my face and it stays in place. And there we go. And we're good. The number 2 thing, like I said, is I don't wear makeup. And the reason why I don't wear makeup is because you need to let your skin breathe. I've said that before. But your skin needs to be unclogged. And the more times you wear makeup, the more you get clogs, the more likely you're going to go ahead and have skin problems. Depending whether you have hormonal acne or if you have clogged pore acne or it's cystic acne. There's so many different versions of skin issues that are out there. So let your skin breathe, and don't be afraid not to wear makeup. Like, I've had one good friend of mine, her name's Cree, tell me that I was brave for not wearing makeup. And I sat there and I was like, no, I'm not. I just don't give a shit. Like, literally, that's my response is, nah, I just don't give a shit. I'll go to work without makeup. I will just go everywhere without makeup. Unless it's date day, then I don't wear makeup. And because date day means that we're going out to eat and we're going out and spending quality time together. And you should be putting in that effort for the dude that you love or that you care about and stuff like that. And with me, that's how I think. The next thing that I will say when it comes to skincare is talk to your doctor. And the reason why I say talk to your doctor is because of the fact that you want to have a professional look at your skin. I actually have hormonal acne. So I get it right here, I get it through here, I get it through here. I rarely get it through here or here. And I learned over the years that's hormonal acne. And I talked to my doctor because I have multiple health issues. And there was this wonderful thing that I found out was one medication, which would help with one of my health issues, actually helps clear up acne and helps clear up cystic acne and helps clear up hormonal acne. And so I was like, hey, I have this problem. And first my doctor was like, you know, I was thinking we should put you on this medication. And I was like, you know, my dad's on this medication for it. And since it's a family history and I know that he uses this medication, I found out that this medication also helps clear up acne. Can we give this a shot? And if it doesn't seem like it's working, can I call you? Can I set up another appointment and we'll just try a different medication? And it's worked great for both of my problems. My skin is clearer. My other health problem is under control a lot more now. And I feel better. And the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is planning. Plan. There are so many memes out there about people saying 3 weeks before con and I got nothing done. All this other crazy shit. And I'm telling you from firsthand experience, do not wait 3 weeks before con. Don't do it. Plan your costume and meticulously plan your costume. Because there are going to be a lot of things that you're not going to realize. That when I built my first costume, I only gave myself 3 months to build one of my costumes using Worbla. And I never used Worbla before, so I did the videos on YouTube, which none of them really help me that much. And it always seems like they're leaving out something, or I feel that way. Like, they're not sharing all their secrets, because I've done it where I sandwiched it in between with EVA foam, and it comes out really tough and weird, and it doesn't work, and it doesn't create a smooth line, and all this other crap. And I've done tests upon tests upon tests. And so I expect that from these videos, you do the same thing. Test upon test upon test, practice upon practice upon practice. Not just trying to be the character, but practicing putting on your costume, making sure that you can take it off and on, making sure that it's easy to work with. All those great things I want you to do, I want you to do them. And I want you to be comfortable and happy with your costume. So prepare for things like that. Like, there is one wonderful thing that I wanted to go ahead and bring up, and I'm going to be saying this a lot, and shit and all this other crap, so just get used to it. Pantyhose. I have some right here, magically. Believe it or not, this was not planned. And what it says here is sheer panty, and then there is a picture of a little fabric line that goes up to the belly button. And then it goes completely sheer, so where it looks like it's just skin. And then there's a little bit of fabric on the crotch. I looked high and hair for these ones for 5 days. And it's for a very specific costume. It's my Psylocke costume. And the reason why is because pantyhose creates a nice, clean line. So, girls, if you're worried about, like, you know, having a little bit of cellulite, like, I'm not that young. And I'm afraid of, like, having booty ripple and all this other stuff and everything, like, you know, like pits and divots in your butt and everything like that. I worry about that shit. I do. I worry about that shit. Pantyhose actually helps create those nice clean lines, and it makes it so much wonderful. So foundation, making sure you match your foundation for your skin. Foundation, making sure you practice your makeup. Foundation of finding and planning all the little intricate details that you need for your costumes, and planning all the little intricate parts of your designing your costume. Because you may not start or know where to start, and we'll cover that. We will cover that, I promise. So, the next part is, this was planned. Shapewear! I use shapewear. All cosplayers that I've met, with the exception of the really, really tiny ones that are amazing, and hit the gym a lot, and are nutritionists, and just have that body type. And I've hit nutrition, and I've hit the gym, and I do those things, and my body type is built differently. I've been aptly named the booty cosplayer by two wonderful photographers that I love, and I aptly take that name with grace, dignity, and love. And no matter what I do, I'm never going to be a size 4. And I've learned to accept that. And even through high school, I was never a size 4. I was roughly like a size 13. And that was the tiniest I was. And I'm still roughly about, and this is in teen size, so I'm still roughly about the size 13 now. If you weighed me back then, compared to weighing me right now, I'm more muscular. and I'm open enough to say it. In high school, I weighed about 150. Now I weigh about 165 without shoes. And basically, well, yeah, 165, maybe 168, depending on shoes and the doctor's office and all that stuff. So I haven't weighed that far off. So that's the big thing there. I've kind of stayed to the same weight, and I hit the gym, and I hit the gym 3 times out of the week, except for when it's school and it's finals, and then it's bye gym. Sorry, I won't see you for 2 months. But that's just how it goes. But shapewear is important. I have a rule. Black is for black. Tan is for tan. Black is for black outfits. It's self-explanatory. Tan is for skin tone. Self-explanatory. And I'm anal retentive to where all underwear must match that particular thing. Like, all underwear that is skin tone must be skin tone. All underwear. All of it. You can't have pink panties peeking through your wonderfully placed pantyhose, a pink thong coming through when your costume's dark blue, and all that other stuff. You just can't. So that's the logic I have. Color, match your colors, match your stuff. Foundation, wear shapewear, wear body wear. Make sure your corsets fit well. I tell people to bend their corsets, especially in yay yonder region. Right in here, it's plastic boning for most of that, unless you actually get metal boning. And if you do, bend it ever so slightly to where when you slouch like this, it's not going to pinch or hurt you. Tip of the day. So those are the most important things that I could tell you. Are there going to be more videos? Yes. Will there be more things to cover? Yeah. Do I think that this first video is successful? This is number 17 of me trying to do these videos, so yes. And I thank you for watching and all that great stuff, and I love you.